Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. We are here in the greenhouse, and today it's just been a chores day. Excuse me. Lots of cleaning up, sweeping, moving stuff around, moving some more plants outside to the greenhouse from my grow tent. And one of those patches of plants is my Pinguicula. So I'm going to show here in a minute my pingdom. It was kind of essentially my little ping garden that I was keeping all of my Pinguicula, well, not all of them, keeping a substantial part of my Pinguicula collection in, and all of my Pinguicula gigantea mother plants were in here. And now I just have two. But yeah, I'm gonna show you what I'm thinking. I'm gonna break this apart, and then there's kind of an experiment that I always wanted to try, and I think it would be a good time to do that for the summer. So let's take a look. Okay, so here it is. Was my little ping garden. You can see I already kind of started to move some stuff around. It didn't look that great. But this is exactly how it was in my grow tent. It definitely needs attention. So I've got this empty tray here that I use to put my soils in and plants. I'm just gonna kind of pick my plants out here. This is California Carnivorous hybrid. I think it's like octopus or something like that. And it's definitely a Moctezuma hybrid. So yeah, just gonna make sure I save all of these leaves, because you never know what can root for us. And then another gigantea down there. Big mother plant gigantea. And then there's also a ton, and then Pinguicula Moctezuma gigantea hybrid, which is great. I want to really propagate this one for sales plants because it is so hardy and good. And then I believe this is a agnata, but might have to check date. The container is also very full of a begonia. It is a Sutherlandii hybrid that my friend and mutual on Instagram had sent me 2 years ago, and it has since kind of taken over. It is a fantastic hybrid, but it produces bulbils, and it kind of throws these bulbils everywhere, and then they start a new plant. If I was to just look through here, I'd find a ton of these bulbils. Here's a good example. The camera focuses. Can you see that little bulb that the white stem is attached to? Yeah, there it is. Excuse my dirty nail. That is a bulb. So the plant produced a bunch of these, and a lot of them fell into this container, and it's just reproducing like crazy. And I actually have a tray full of this begonia hybrid down here. And these will be for sale eventually, if the camera will focus. So let's continue. I am going to put these begonias in a pile, and I'm going to put these Pinguicula in another area. And I'm just totally going to take this apart. You can see why they're called gigantea. This is a really huge Pinguicula, and they can get even bigger than this. Pretty wild. Just taking that net pot up, and this is just full of sphagnum, really untouched. So I'm definitely going to reuse some of this. Some of this is soiled, but some of this is fresh spag moss. Here are all the plants. All right, so now I want to bring in the experiment part. This is a clay pot that is meant for growing strawberries. It's really old. My great-grandfather had a nursery here, and greenhouses and all that. And that pot is from his era, so passed down to me from my aunt. And I'm going to be using it to try to grow Pinguicula in the summer. Yeah, I definitely want to put the Pinguicula Moctezuma gigantea and the giganteas in it. Another gigantea over there. And then keep it in a tray of water and see how they grow. So yeah, wish me luck. I'm going to get going on it. I'm gonna just get this washed up and then start packing some sphagnum. So I got my bin of sphagnum moss and my bin of peat sand, and I put some stones and fluval stratum at the bottom, and I'm just kind of packing in sphagnum moss with peat sand in the middle. But you can see how it's filling up very nicely. Whoops. Some of this peat moss from the Mexican Pinguicula has fallen down into the warm temperate Pinguicula primuliflora. Sorry guys. But isn't this looking amazing? I am obsessed. I could just picture this Gigantea getting bigger and just like being the crown with like flowers sticking out on each side. Yeah, I'm loving this. Let's finish it up. See how she guys. I'm gonna take this leaf here as a pulling. It's already starting to come off. And here's a little Moctezuma Gigantea baby that I separated from this mother plant. I'm gonna tuck this leaf cutting in here, and we'll check back on it in a month and see if we have a baby sprouting and see how this one looks. I think this looks pretty cool. It's not even grown in yet. The only thing left to do is to get a paintbrush and to get all the substrate off the leaves. You can see kind of all over. If you didn't do this, it wouldn't be the end of the world. It's just for cosmetic reasons. Some sand or peat on the plant is not going to kill it. But yeah, super cool. I'm really excited to see how this grows and fills out over the next couple of months. All right guys, we're back in the house for a 3-week update on the Ping planter, Pinguicula Gigantea planter, in this vintage terracotta strawberry pot. As a rule of thumb, you don't usually want to grow too many carnivores in terracotta, Pinguicula being an exception, as well as some Drosera, which actually do well in terracotta, which I just learned. I thought was a no-go, but they seem to be doing really well. I do need to mention, first and foremost, I ended up having to bring these guys back inside. They're currently growing in the grow tent because I'm still waiting on a shade cloth for the greenhouse, and it's unfortunately just way too sunny. It's extremely bright. They were bleaching even in the shade. So definitely interesting. Now let's go take a look in the grow tent to show you where its position is and how it grows. All right, y'all, here we are in the grow room, and see where my ping planter is, along with all my other carnivores over here. So excited about this little rabbit planter that is full of Utricularia sandersonii, which look like little angry bunnies. So it'll be really cute when this blooms in mass. You might be able to see actually. This one's so tiny. You see the little bunny-esque. This might be the blue form, I'm not sure, but yeah. So here's my strawberry ping tower. Just looking so cool. I think pings look really great in terracotta, and this just like accentuates it to the max. Very rustic looking. I also planted another one of those Sutherlandii begonias in the top. You'll see in a couple months why I'm such a big fan of that begonia, because it just cascades, very pendulous, and it blooms a ton of yellow flowers. So if all goes to plan, the begonias won't, I'll trim them around the other pings so that they don't block light, but it would be really cool to have trailing flowering begonias with these pings growing out in between. So yeah guys, that's all for now. Let me know if you want a grow tent tour. Yeah, you know I always love to show off my plants. So anyways, thanks for watching guys. Bye.